Welcome back, fans and friends, for this upcoming video. I have a 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner. Now this is the 446 pack, which doesn't really help us except for it says 440 there. And Roadrunner on the side. This is the auto drivers though. This is an early release 85. And you'll say, while the last video was release 86, but they do their auto drivers different from their deluxe. So this is basically not really their green light, because a green light is superior to that in the fact that at least the hood opens. With that thing, the hood doesn't open. So this is a setup for the next video actually. So this is a recent Plymouth Roadrunner Hemi. You can see there R67 2316, so it's not that recent, but it's recent enough. And you see there Turtle Wax sponsorship / decoration 2023 and the usual M2 stuff. By the way, the next video will be this. I'll just do it quickly. This is a very early version, R30, you can see there. This is the Detroit Muscle version, the same car, but it's the 446 pack. So it is, in fact, not identical, but nearly identical to this. And so the reason is because I brought it up in a few videos. You see that little addition there, the plastic thing that keeps the hood open. And that little nonsense tab here that keeps the door from doing door stuff, I'm not sure. But those are the major changes that they've done. And then obviously this one here is a more recent version, like I said before. So we'll be covering this one right now. Anyway, other than introductions, you have the swallowing hazards, all the M2 stuff like rubber tires, real chrome, die cast body, the scales to 164, and then the Cast Line Corporation's social media. And then Turtle Wax is obviously not a Plymouth product, but it is a way to boost the look of your vehicle. I do like that decoration, the artistic value of that. It's in the background there, as you can see. It's just sort of covered up by the improperly placed sticker up there. It's also up here, so in terms of decorating the box, they've done a decent job at this. So we're just going to go ahead. I don't believe I have covered it. I'm trying to think. That other M2 I just showed, the Detroit Muscle, I should have covered it a while ago, but I have not. Once again, the great things about M2s are basically they can go in and out of the package, because literally everything can be reassembled and unassembled. The only thing I totally destroy is the sticker. So for example, on this one, you'll see there the seal is unbroken and the seal is unbroken. So therefore I could open it, but then the sticker peels over time, and obviously this one, for the most part, has not. You can see there. You can barely see where the edges are. Anyway, that's not important. So what's important here is this Roadrunner. You can see just how reflective that chrome is. It looks a lot like the GTX, though, which is the upscale version of this. We have Plymouth on the front there. No mention of 440 on the engine, so that's a little bit different than this. You can just see the two 440s and the 6-pack under in those little red letters. Also, the hood scoop is a separate piece of the hood on this one, and there is just no such thing on this. Sorry, this is the Hemi. I apologize. Why would I have the 440? But unlike the GTX, it doesn't have the Hemi written on the side, but the hood is very similar. So other than the front, we see what I was talking about with that Buick. It's just a single plate, and then stamped in is the headlights, and everything else painted differently are all the indicators / grille, which is not very finely done, but it's the exact same as on that vehicle. I don't know if the parts are interchangeable. I know the body is not, because the body has a different pin system. I'll take it apart later. Left side, very plain in the rear. Go Turtle. And I'm just trying to think, because they can't put Roadrunner here. I do believe it's just underneath the rear indicator. There is letters, but they're very tiny and they're silvery. Just to metal in with this spectacled paint. Wheels look very nice. For once, they're very even. They're not the wide wheel type dragster. Once again, into the back, everything stamped and then painted over. 1969 on the license plate. And unfortunately, once again, it says Hemi up here, and on the bottom left it says Roadrunner, which is great because that's how you know it's a Roadrunner. We can't hear the horn. And I just saw a Roadrunner up there. I did not see it. Oh, there, I apologize. And the glare and the door handle. So I apologize about that. It says Roadrunner there. And so we have the trunk edged in, nice. The roof actually is the very rough, has the very rough feel to it. You can see it's more gritty. The rest of the car is smooth. Hood nice and easy to open. Doors, once again, actually that was extremely fluid. I do like the seat details. And the, I forget what they call those little windows. I thought I broke it, but nope, still there. But we have excellent detail for such a small scale model. Once again, not cheap means, but less expensive sports car alternative. Like I said, the GTX 1969, 1970 was the upscale version of this. And so pretty much we have covered the vehicle in its entirety. And then it, like I said, I should have just looked at this one. It says Roadrunner there, but I cannot read what's underneath. Alright, so there we have. Unfortunately, we will not be able to compare the 440 and the Hemi because the 440 is in that R30 release and not in this. Although I do have a half dozen. It's 7. It's not a half dozen. I do have a half dozen of the deluxe model, the Daytona Chargers. I have covered quite a few. I want to do a Daytona special because I have just so many Chargers, and I don't know, 1/2 an hour video instead of 7 10-minute videos. Anyway, not important. This does look really nice, even if you're not a fan of green. I don't like that wheel sink, but what I mean by that is look how much the loose of the tolerances. So actually it does in fact say Hemi on the side of the engine there. So there we have it, 06023 manufacturing code. And it's not the same. It's 010 we have there and 23. So they are not product matched. So somebody out there has half of what I have here. Because you know what, the 6 is extremely different than the 1. In case you want to call me out on it. But I can clearly see that's a 1. 010 23 15270R. And that's not what's here. But I do like how they put it in slight cursive letters. The italics, 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner. Hemi, you're just going to have to read there because I do believe it says it there as well. Nicely done. For the most part, I do like the grit vinyl feel to the top. The car looks relatively well done. And it does roll actually almost by itself. And then I believe, just quickly, I don't want to do too long a video. I do, but not for this. I want to add that other Roadrunner. And so basically here you have, I do like the matte black rather than the high reflective bottom. For some unknown reason, I do think this one's better with the exhaust, but there you can see the major differences for this car. They look almost identical, except obviously the screws for opening the car are in a different place. Like I said, they are not more or less interchangeable. But the one thing I would try, however, is to put the Goodyear tires on the Turtlebacks car and then the red wall tires on this one. Like I said, this one doesn't have it has the cutouts, and you can see there is give, but I think that's because it's just poorly made. I don't think there's actually there is no engine under there, so. And it rolls, but there's a slight wobble. So fans and friends, 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner with the Hemi engine, which I forgot to pop open, so I'll just pop it out. And M2 is actually, that does usually a really good job of the Hemi engine. You can see there, it even says Hemi on it. But I still do think the Buick GSX I did from Auto Johnny Lightning has been the best representation of an engine so far. Not to knock the Hemi and the 440 engines from M2 or people who like those in general, but anyway. There we have it. I don't like the fact that the rest of the engine is in black while the air filter and the line is in orange, plus the control box on the left are in white, but Everything else seems to be in place. It's just rather hard to see. And there you can see a little bit better. Anyway, just over 10 minutes. Thanks for watching my long-winded video. This is Thomas from Toronto, and till the next one.